the Northampton International Raceway to take a look at a fantastic small oval racing formula, that of the Brisca Formula 2 stock cars. And we've got an array of cars and an array of drivers to talk to as well. Former world champion is Willie Peters. Willie, of course, you're a continental driver who comes over to England to race as well. What attracts you to Brisca Formula 2 stock car racing?
The home track is not so nice than the tracks in England. In England there's more stock car racing than in Holland. The track in Holland is too big for the stock car, but I like it here.
And of course, having that gold roof atop your car as you did just a couple of years ago must have made you feel good.
Oh, it was fantastic for me. Yeah, it was a good feeling. It was the first, I'm the first Dutchman we ever do that.
A huge field of cars here at the raceway. It's about to begin, ladies and gentlemen. Keep your eyes there. There they go. The green flag is down. The lights are on, and we're underway with Factor roaring away to that first turn. In car number 324, that is over in car number 401 and 430. In car number 79, we're looking for the place. 401 and 24, 642 for the second and third. Into the turn they go. Oh, God, he's in trouble. He's made a quick recovery after clapping all over Factor. That's made a change this way. Peters is going into the lead. There's the checkered flag. Peters is coming through. Colour Roach 34. Across the line he goes. Second place man. Through 732 and 79 in second and third places.
So, ladies and gentlemen, World Final 2005 falls to Willie Peters from Holland as the red flags come out here at Northampton International Raceway. There he is, ladies and gentlemen, race winner, Willie Peters, world champion.
Where's Willie Peters?
Andy Palmer. Andy, another Formula 2 stock car driver, what is it for you that kind of hits the button for Formula 2 stock car racing because you love it?
It's a relatively cheap oval racing, lots of tracks nationwide, lots of drivers. You can go anywhere from Scotland all the way down to Cornwall as we did last week and race with 35 up to 75 cars in a meeting. Good, close, fast racing.
And in fairness, when it comes to Formula 2 stock car racing, with a huge number of registered drivers, you're quite right. And geographically, wherever you are in the UK, you're never far away from a track that runs Formula 2 stock cars.
No, that's it, like based in Peterborough, 3/4 of an hour to Northampton or King's Lynn. They're always 65, 70 cars at each meeting.
But then if you want to travel further, you can go way up into Scotland or down into Cornwall as well.
Yeah, like I say, earlier this week we were down in Cornwall for the 2 qualifying rounds. There was a good 55, 60 cars at both the events, or you can go up to Scotland on a Saturday night. There's lower car numbers there, but always quick, fast racing.
Hey. Good to talk to Andy then. So that's just a couple of the drivers, and another driver that has got more than a passing interest in Formula 2 stock car racing is young Tom Smart here. Now Tom, you race, not only do you race, you build the cars as well, and we're coming to you really for an idea about what these cars are all about, because of course they don't look like a road car.
No, not at all. They're just a single-seater race car.
Now how was this design developed? Did somebody somewhere once upon a time sit down with a blank sheet of paper and thought this is how a single-seater stock car is going to look?
Basically, I suppose from maybe like 50 years ago, from like the Ford Pops, and it's just moved on and on and on to what we are today.
Okay, so if we take the car then one step at a time, and we'll look round the car and find out exactly what it is. The chassis to me, and by chassis of course that's the frame that everything is bolted on. Bits of tube, bits of square iron work in there. It looks like a heck of a fabrication job.
Yes, it is. Yeah, there's a lot of steel and a lot of fabrication in the car and a lot of time, yes.
Part of that is some hefty bumpers at the front and rear. Now, in Formula 2 stock car racing, those bumpers are used and used to full effect, aren't they?
Yes, most of the time they are, yes, yeah, definitely.
Now, the purpose of that, of course, is to, if you can't get by the opponent by going around the outside or through the inside, it's just give them a little tap.
Yeah, just a little tap, yeah, and then maybe a bit hard if you can't get through, yes.
And you've been on both the receiving end and the front end of some of those.
Definitely, yes.
Okay, so that's the chassis then. Now, the bodywork looks like it is specially made for each car. Now, Randall Motorsport, who indeed you work for, Tom, make an awful lot of Formula 2 stock cars. You're not the only car builder, of course there are lots of others, but yours have their own unique style, don't they, and always look very smart, and this is a great example.
Yeah, we try to build a nice presentable car. Well, we just do the best that we can do, yes.
Now, something else that I find really curious, this huge big thing on the roof here, which looks completely adjustable because it's got rods at the back where you can move it up or down. What on earth is that all about, Tom?
It's all about controlling the grip on the rear end of the car. Like, the higher and the further back it comes, the more grip you get, and if you need less grip, you push it forward. Just basically that.
And on a quarter-mile tarmac oval, does it really make that much difference?
Yes, if you don't run a wing on the car, it'll be very loose in the corner.
And what do you mean by loose? You can't control it?
Control the back end just steps out all the time.
Okay, so that does actually serve a purpose there. To the inside of the car now, and something that would really bother me is the fact that looking inside, I mean, that is... Now, I'm a big guy, Tom. Willie is not a big guy, therefore he'll fit in there okay. Is each car designed for the driver in mind?
Yes, definitely, yeah. I mean, the height and the size of the driver depends on the roll cage of the car, yes.
All the normal pedals, I can understand that. But the gear stick right in the middle between your legs.
It does take a little bit getting used to, yeah. Just hope your hand doesn't slip off the gear lever.
Now, do these cars, do they use all the gears available in the gearbox, or do you have special gearboxes?
No, they're straight cut gears. We just use first, second and third. Oh, we have got a reverse as well.
And presumably, I'm just looking at the length of the car here, the gearbox and the shaft from the gearbox to drive those rear wheels, that probably has to be specially made too?
Yes, it is. That's a specially made gearbox and prop shaft, yeah.
And of course what I should have explained is that, you know, straight away these cars are rear wheel drive, not front wheel drive like most production cars today, so that must make your job even more difficult.
It is very hard, yeah. When the car's not handling very well, it can be much of a handful.
Right, let's take a look at the power pack then, the engine in a Formula 2 stock car. I'm going to be really dense here, Tom. That looks like the same engine that used to be in my old Sierra.
It is that engine, yes.
Is that engine still in production today, or because Sierras aren't, presumably, is that an old engine that you use?
It is an old engine. They're coming very hard to get by now, yes. So we're now starting to move on to Duratec.
Which is the current production Ford engine?
Yes, it is, yes, yeah.
Okay, so is this engine in completely standard form, or has lots been done to it to maximise its performance for its racing career?
The engine's tuned to the rule book. I mean, there's slightly little pieces of porting done to the head. The camshaft is free. You can have any type of camshaft you want, and there's a standard size piston you're allowed to use, and a little bit of balance into the engine, to the crank, conrods, and basically that's about it.
So, how much pressure are you putting on that engine to make that perform? I mean, what kind of average driving for us, you know, we're doing maybe 3.5, perhaps 4,000 revs when we're cruising down a motorway. What are you expecting this engine to deliver for you as a driver?
The engine needs to be pulling 8,000 revs. Yes, it's a lot to ask for the engine, but if it's not pulling that, you're not going forward.
Okay, so you really are expecting a lot from that. Fantastic array of exhaust pipes out the side. Now, back in the days when, you know, I used to cruise my Vauxhall Nova up and down the seafront in Southend. Now, that's the kind of exhaust I'd like. Again, I guess that's been specially designed for this car.
Yeah, the pipes are all specific lengths and to get the back pressure right for the engine, so it just puts out its maximum horsepower.
To the suspension now, the only thing I ever know about suspension is shock absorbers, but people talk to me when it comes to racing cars about wishbones, coilovers. Just explain that all to thick me. What's that all about?
This is the wishbone, which connects the wheel to the chassis. That's your shock absorber. Then you move down here to the lower bottom arm. Again, that's connecting the upright to the chassis. And there's a little bar come back here which is called the compression strut. That stops the wheel from going back and forth.
So, and every bit of this, there's holes everywhere, there's huge nuts with threads on. Presumably, every single bit of this is adjustable.
Everything is fully adjustable, yes.
And again, forgive me here, but by making something so adjustable, obviously you can get it dead right, but presumably it takes a little bit of experimentation before you get it dead right.
Definitely, yes, it takes a lot of time to get it right. I mean, and maybe 2 or 3 turns on a rose joint, and it's not right. So it's just trial and error till you do get it right, yes.
Well, there we have it. That's a brief look round at what is one of the most popular racing formulas, the single-seater Brisca Formula 2 stock cars. And thanks to Tom, who's explained a lot to me and a lot, I hope, to you as well about how these cars work. And just as we close, Tom, being a race car builder and being a race car driver too, is that an inherent advantage or disadvantage for you in terms of racing?
Some people would say it's an advantage for me, but not always. It's all alright when you're on a high, but when you're on a low and things are not going right, it's very hard work.
Well, thank you, Tom, from Randall Motorsport. There we have it. Brisca Formula